Mr. Gatt, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely. Let's talk about Novi.
Let's talk about Novi. What else is there to talk about?
I'm here with Mayor Bob Gatt, who has been serving the town, or serving the community of Novi for literally 46 years. Started out as a police officer, ended up today as the mayor. Tell us a little bit about your journey with Novi.
You know, I started with Novi back in 1975, and let me just tell you, back in those days, Novi was pretty tiny. You know,
It's a two-horse town.
We had 16 total police officers. Most of the roads were dirt roads, other than the mild roads. The people who lived on the south side of Novi all claimed that they lived in Northville. You know, that was their claim to fame. I live in Northville, even though it's Novi.
Yep.
Today, that's all changed. You know, over the last several decades, Novi has become, well, I think the economic engine of this part of the county for sure.
Absolutely.
We just got our census results. Novi grew 20% in the last 10 years. We're
Wow.
the fastest growing city in Oakland County and in southeast Michigan.
That's awesome.
So
yeah.
I mean, Novi is, I love Novi. I bleed Novi. I don't think there's a better city anywhere in the world than Novi. And I say that, but I really mean it.
I know you do, and I know you do, and I know when you say you bleed Novi, and again, thank you for your service. I mean, as a police officer, there's a very real possibility that that's a real true statement, and that does not go lightly. So tell us a little bit more about Novi, what the population is, a little bit of its history, all of it.
Yeah, well, Novi, again, the census just came out. We're at 65,000 people. When I started with Novi in 75, I think we had 16,000 people.
Wow, that's a lot of growth.
Yeah, you know, and it all really just accelerated in 1977. 2 years after I started, the mall opened up, 12 Oaks Mall.
Right?
And when that opened up, people started flocking towards our city because the mall brought in money.
Yeah.
Money brought in better schools, better housing. It just brought in more opportunity. And with that, everything just kind of burgeoned and grew. And really, that was the catalyst. But since then, what has happened is we have the safest city. We have our police department. Back in 1975, the police chief said, future cops need to be smart. They don't need to be 6'5" and tough. Look at me, you know, but they need to be smart. He instituted a policy all cops had to have 4-year degrees. And today over at the police department, every police officer has a 4-year degree. Most have master's degree. 2 or 3 of them are lawyers. They have law degrees. So we have the most professional police agency, and that equates to safeness. Our policemen are professional. They know how to patrol. They know how to de-escalate. We are accredited by CALEA. Only 3% of the police departments in the whole country are accredited by this Congress on Law Enforcement Accreditation. It's
That's
truly
awesome.
remarkable and something that I'm so proud of.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I honestly had no idea. But I will say from
3% of the whole country, you know.
That's rare. And you know, from my decade and a half of living in Novi myself, I have never felt anything but safe.
No.
Especially within the city borders. It just never occurred to me to have any other feeling.
No.
Just to be honest, which again is attributed to the fantastic police department and the safety protocols that you guys have put in place.
Part of my police duties for several years, I was the crime prevention officer. And I would tell, you know, people who would gather in the police department, you can walk around Novi with a $100 bill taped to your forehead and nobody's going to bother you.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the truth. We do have crime. I mean, if you open your garage door and leave, somebody might come in and take a beer out of your refrigerator. I mean, but we don't have any crimes against people. You are safe in this city, and that's so very important.
That's both amazing and unique, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And
I'm so proud of our public safety, you know, police and fire. So.
Absolutely. And then you also had mentioned a couple of really cool things that's unique to Novi in an email to me earlier. Talk about that a little bit. There were some just really cool things in that email.
Well, you know, Novi, first of all, we have the most beautiful hospital that anybody could ever want just up the road.
Yeah, which was Providence.
It was Providence.
And then it was picked up by
now
Ascension.
It's Ascension,
Yep.
right. But, and in that Ascension hospital, there's somebody on staff that speaks fluent Japanese. Now, why is that? Because Novi has the most Japanese citizens, nationals, than any other city in Michigan.
That's
We
awesome.
have several thousand Japanese residents that live here. And why do they live here? Well, it's safe. The schools are number one. Our schools just were voted number one by a national magazine. Novi was rated the best place to live by Money Magazine just 2 years ago. This is just a unique place. Our malls, we have what, 4 major malls, all within a mile of each other. And then we have the Suburban Collection Showplace.
Yes. Yes.
Right now, at this very moment, they're setting up for the Michigan State Fair.
Which is a
Where
blast.
is the Michigan
Yeah.
State Fair? It's in Novi.
It's in Novi.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is a blast, and I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to getting to this weekend.
There you go.
100% for sure. And
too.
if you have the opportunity, everybody, I would definitely jump out and see that Michigan State Fair. It's a great experience. It really is. It's right over at the Suburban Showcase, which is just a little further west than 12 Oaks Mall and Fountain Walk.
Yeah, and you'll have a good time, I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Shriners are there with their circus, their famous circus. It's just, and the guy who owns that place, Blair Bowman, what a mind. I mean, don't forget, the Michigan State Fair ceased to exist in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Our governor, we had some money problems, and she said no more state fair.
Yeah.
Well, Blair Bowman came along and said, oh no, we have to have a state fair. I mean, this is Michigan. We
Yeah.
deserve a state fair, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
where
Yeah.
else but the best city in the state of Michigan to have it? And he, on his own, really started this, and it has grown now into something that's bigger than it ever was back when it was, in Detroit. So please, come on out and enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then what else would you like us to know about Novi? Anything that we haven't covered? Anything that we're missing?
Well, we're walking by some parks here. I am so proud of the parks in Novi. I told you about our police department being accredited. Well, our Parks and Recreation department just got accredited too, a national accreditation that very, very few parks and recreation departments have. If you look at these fields, we have national softball tournaments here every year. People come from all over the country to play softball right here.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it is awesome.
Yeah. No, that's a great looking. That's take a look at that. Can you get it, Carl? Awesome.
Yeah,
And then a little bit on the, we've got the beach up towards Walled Lake there.
Well, Lakeshore Park.
Yep.
Let's talk about Lakeshore Park. It's up in
Definitely.
the north part of the city on Walled Lake. And what most people don't know is that 3/4 of that lake is in the city of Novi.
Right.
It's called Walled Lake because there used to be a wall in that lake, as a matter of fact. But
Yep.
we have a park up there, Lakeshore Park, that is so beautiful that most people, they don't even know that it's there, but it's a jewel. I wish everybody who's watching this that lives in Novi, go on up there and avail yourself of this beautiful park. We just spent millions of dollars on a new rec center up there.
That's awesome.
And it's a state of the art, yeah.
Yeah.
Just down the road from Lakeshore Park, we built another park, Pavilion Shore Park. You're too young, I am even too young, but at one time there was a casino there. Not a gambling
Really?
casino, a casino, dancing casino.
Okay. Yeah.
And right on the shores of Walled Lake. And big bands would come, in the 40s, and people would flock from the Detroit area all over to come and dance there to the big bands. It burned down, I think it was in 1968, and that property stayed vacant. And so many people had ideas about what they could do. Let's build a hotel, let's build homes. The city wisely rejected all that. And in the last few years, we just made it into a passive park. And it's so beautiful. It's packed every weekend. People come and they're just walking their kids, they're laying on the grass, they're fishing off a pier that we built. It's just, everybody in Novi, we take care of them. Parks and Rec is just, we're a step ahead of everybody around here. I'm so proud. I'm talking because I love Novi.
Yeah.
Since I've been mayor, 10 years now, we've added 80 acres of parkland. Now, 80 acres is just a number. It's 60 football fields, and we've added that just in the last 10 years. Nobody has more parkland per capita than any city in Michigan.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I'm proud of it. Very proud.
No, and definitely that's definitely something to be proud of.
We're
And
going to walk down by a new part of the park that we built. It's down in that corner over there.
Okay.
And it's for everybody. It's for people who are in wheelchairs. It's for people who can't walk at all. It's for older adults. It's for younger adults. It's something that is unique to Novi. I don't
Yeah.
know of any other city within 50 miles that has anything like this.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
did not know that. And we are going to actually walk right there by it. And then one thing I wanted to touch on was also the amazing library you guys have.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with the cafe and all of it. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I can't talk about the library unless I talk about the library director,
Sure.
Julie Farkas. She is one in a million, one in a billion. I mean, she lives just like I live and breathe Novi. She lives and breathes the Novi Library. I wish we could go over and see her. Our library is second to none. When you walk in there, it's so unique, it's so different, and we have on display history of Novi everywhere, pictures dating back to before I was born. We see the casino and stuff like that. Then they have people made Novi's known for their apples. At one time, we were an apple orchard. So there's ceramic and glass apples all over the library on display in cases. It's people come from all over to join or to have fun in our public library. After
Yeah.
school, it's the gathering place. No question about that.
No, and that makes sense. And that especially makes sense about the apples because I know, as a real estate agent, I see a lot of the neighborhood signs, and several of the neighborhoods feature apple orchards in their logo.
Yes.
So that makes a lot of sense as to where that came from.
Right in the center of our city, 10 Mile Novi Road. They used to be one of the biggest orchards around, Irwin's Orchard. Then they sold out, then they moved out to South Lyon, and out there they have a big orchard, but they're selling that too. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
development wins in the end.
It really does.
Yeah.
And guys, Irwin's made our top 10 list for cider mills and orchards to get to this year. And I do think it is going to be the last year it's going to be open.
I think
If you
so.
haven't tried it, you got to get out there and go pick some apples. And I'm sure the family's going to pop up with something new maybe the year after or the year after that. So Irwin's might be moving, but it's not going to be gone forever.
Keep that building and sell cider and some apples.
Oh, that's good.
But most of the U-Pick stuff's going to go. But they're going to keep some of it.
That's good. No, and that's a good thing. And so we talked about a little bit about the safety. We talked a little bit about the library. Tell me a little bit about Novi Schools. And I see we've got, football practice going on right behind us.
Our Novi schools are second to none. It's as simple as that. I mean, as I said, a national magazine just about a month ago named Novi School #1 in the state. Thank you. Every
get it.
year
You'll
they
get it.
put out some of the best and smartest kids around. Sanjay Gupta on Channel 4
Yep.
or CNN, I think.
Yeah.
He's a graduate of Novi High
That's
School.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember that. He's one of our local celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm so proud. I'm most proud of everything. But
Yeah.
one thing I'm very proud of is our diversity in Novi. One thing
True.
we do, we embrace diversity. I told you about the Japanese, Indian, African American, all kinds of Asian people. Everybody is welcome in Novi. And we don't have the problems that you read about in the paper. We don't have the problems that you see on television other places have. Are we perfect? Probably not. But I tell you what, we're as close to it as you can get.
Yeah.
And I attribute that to the people in Novi. I've been here for 46 years. And 45 years ago, I learned that the people in Novi just embrace each other. We just accept each other. We accept everything about each other. If you play by the rules and and you are a good citizen, then you're accepted here. We don't care about anything else. We only care about that. And that has just turned Novi into a community that is welcoming to everyone, and everyone wants to come here. That's why we grew by 20%. 20%
makes
in
sense.
10 years.
Gosh,
That's pretty amazing.
That's an extremely big number, and any city would be envious of that kind of a growth and that kind of an attraction to it, which is great.
Yeah.
All right, any parting thoughts? Anything that you want people to know about Novi? Any nooks and crannies that we should explore or go see?
Well, you know what? You have to go see the Suburban Collection Showplace, #1. I mean,
Definitely,
they put on
definitely.
shows there all the time. We're having the state fairs we talked about, but every week they've got something going on. You have to go shop at our malls. You know, you have to go shop at the 12 Oaks Mall is if you walk in there, even though I think it's 45 years old, you would think it was built 2 weeks ago. It's
Yeah.
brand new. It's sparkling. Everything is up to date, and I just invite everybody to come there. And you don't have to worry about crime. You don't have to worry about being mugged or anybody stealing anything from you because this is a safe city. We already talked about go enjoy Walled Lake. Go enjoy that park up there. Just come on. You want to see some good softball? Wait till there's a national tournament here, which I tell you I think we have 2 a year. You're going to see the best softball players in the world right here in Novi.
That's awesome.
It
Yeah.
really is awesome.
Yeah.
If you can't, you know what I say to my friends and to everybody to listen, if you can't find it in Novi, you don't need it. Yeah, it's true.
That's true. That's true.
We've
yeah.
got the number one Cadillac dealer in Novi
That's
all
true.
over the country.
That's where I get mine
we got
from.
the number one Lincoln dealer in the country right
Yep.
here in Novi.
Well, my dad worked for General Motors for 37 years, so the little Lincoln dealer not as important, but the Cadillac dealer.
Well,
sorry.
maybe the Lincoln dealer would argue with
No,
that,
it's great. It's great.
But they
Yeah.
are the number one, and that's
Yeah.
the point. Here in Novi, you're going to get the best of the best.
Absolutely.
If I'm going to admit to one thing I wish we had that we don't have, I'm looking for a 5-star restaurant to come and locate here in Novi. We've got some great eateries. I mean,
That's true.
You want to go get a good food, go to Big Tommy's, go to Moe's. There's all kinds of great places. But I'm looking for that 5-star restaurant.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
I'm hoping that they come around not too long from now.
Well, and in the meantime, we've still got Stephen Rocky's, we've got Toasted Oat, we've got all kinds of great,
There's
all kinds of great restaurants.
Stuff. But I want that 5-star.
That's true. And then last question, and this might come as a little bit of a curveball, but you've probably been asked this before. How did Novi get its name?
Yeah.
Or what's your theory
How
behind it?
do you think Novi got its name? What's your theory?
I've heard them all. So it's the 6th train stop out of Detroit, the 6th stop on the mail route back when there were horses. It's any number.
Stagecoach stop
Yep.
on the old Plank Road, which
Yep.
is Grand River, and there was an old Plank Road where Grand River is, and there is a sign called Six Gate, and it used to stop the stagecoach and pay a toll because somebody had to take care of the Plank Road, right?
Yeah.
It's all beautiful, and in fact, the police, we wear 6s on our collars. We
I
are
didn't know
known
that.
as number 6. Okay?
That's excellent. Yeah.
None of it's true. None of it's true.
Of course not.
Yeah. Novi was named Novi long before the railroad, long before the stagecoach, long before anybody ever came up with that theory. Novi is a European word meaning new beginning.
That's excellent.
And the theory is, we believe, the people from Novi, we believe, at one time Novi was part of Farmington. We were West
I had
Farmington.
heard that. Yeah. Yeah.
And somewhere in the 1800s, they broke off and they started this beautiful community called Novi. And if you look at a world map, you'll see Novi cities, 3 or 4 different ones in Eastern Europe. It's an Eastern European word, means new beginning.
Means new beginning.
I think back when Novi was formed, people wanted a new beginning, and that's how Novi got its name. But I always go with the legend. When somebody tells me, "Oh yeah, it was a stagecoach," and I always say, "Yeah, I think you're right.
Sure it is.
I think
Yeah.
you're right. I
Yeah.
think you're right."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say I had bought my first home here in Novi, my very first home, and for me it was a new beginning, and it was a new journey as a homeowner and as a college graduate, adult, all of that. Mr. Gatt, thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure.
I truly appreciate
My
it.
pleasure.
And then,
Seriously.
again,
I can talk about
Yeah.
Novi for another 3 days if you want.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
It's a great city. It's
Yeah.
it's in my opinion the greatest city, and please come and visit.
absolutely. And again, the love that you have for your city just comes out. It just oozes from you, and I love that. And Novi itself is blessed to have you as a mayor.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.